I haven't done a video in a long time, maybe 4 years now, but I'm going to get right to the point. I have a question. What are your thoughts about single gender classrooms starting in the 5th grade in our communities? I think that this can be facilitated easily because, at least in Houston, it's up to the individual school's principal to make the request. And I'd like to see single gender classrooms ranging from magnet schools to the underperforming schools in our communities. Now, I realize that homeschooling is most effective. And some of you may opt to move your children or move your grandchildren to other neighborhoods with better performing schools. But oftentimes those schools have mixed cultures. Sometimes teachers berate students. They're exposed to the N-word from students of other nations, which could cause some self-esteem issues, identity issues, and some may even develop colorism attributes, or they themselves may be a victim of colorism. Homeschooling or simply moving is not an option for most parents. Or students to move away from their community. But more importantly, it's not an immediate solution to some of the ills that are plagued in our inner city schools. So, and you may think that underperforming schools has nothing to do with some of the turmoil and trepidation we face when we turn on the news and find that some of us may be at war. It almost looks as though we are. But it does. It has everything to do with it. More often than not, I look at a video or I turn on television and I see women saying that brothers is no good, brothers saying that sisters is no good, and we can know that our common interest is our future, and that lies within our children. So maybe we can come together and look for some results, some solutions. Our children's mental, physical, spiritual health it's at stake, and there is a need for calm and healing and a return to innocence, so to speak. If you can return to innocence, I believe you can. I believe children can. And consider that men, women, teenagers, they're being beaten, accosted, different manners, shot, and even murdered by police officers and at the hands of each other. So it's almost safe, it's not safe to do anything. Recently, I saw a video in New York where police officers drew guns on a few boys, young men, that were having a snowball fight. And I live in Houston, and some police came with their guns drawn on a group of teenagers at a neighborhood swimming pool. And the only teenagers that they pulled guns on and that they chased and drug looked like me. The other teenagers were not bothered at all. So our children are not mutually exclusive from the realities that we all face every day. Nowadays they are more faced with, they know more, they're exposed to more, some adults. And some things are targeted towards our youth also, like Pokemon. That's something that's targeted towards the youth to distract them, destroy them. And some even have equated Pokemon to familiar spirits or demons. But just as we have, we know that we have to warn our children differently, we must know that we have to nurture them differently also. And it's imperative now that we let them know that we nurture them in a way that their awareness is increased. And I think you know what I'm talking about. And we all have to be active and aggressive in this battle. And yes, my grandchildren, they're in good schools, and 60% African American, Black, or Judah, whatever you call yourself. I'm Judah. And they are STEM schools. However, I am my little brother and my little sister's keepers. So I have a list of benefits, but I want you to respond so that I might survey all of your thoughts, the pros and the cons. What are your thoughts about single-gender classrooms starting in the 5th grade? Maybe it could just be core classes within the same school, but for whether you live in the community or not, we all have vested interest in our futures, of course, and all children that we share our lives with and our communities with. So again, I invite you to make a video like this. You have larger platforms than mine, I'm sure. I don't mind, just recreate it, and then whatever research you get, share it with me. This is going to be the first of 3 videos I've been led to make to reroute or start the conversation towards healing and solution as we endure to the end. May the Most High continue to bless you through Christ, born to a virgin who knew not a man. Shalom.
Because you're stopping them from graduating, you idiot ass. Why you did that? Well, you did that. Because you're stopping them from graduating, you idiot ass. Why you did that? Well, you did that.
Don't fucking move, guys. Don't move.
They were having a snowball fight. This group of guys was having a snowball fight, and now the cop has a gun on them.
Each action is described by forensic analysts hired by prosecutors. Just before the shooting, you see Rice on the left as the police car pulls up. He starts walking toward the car.